Well, you know the old Cowboys with a siren. Yes.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with, and welcome to Shop Time with Michael Anthony Fitness. Building all these damn cabinets here. Well, here we are. Believe it or not, I am still showing up, okay? You know, it's amazing how the trolls come out when they think they got an opportunity. How you doing, Cody? Shout out to you. Well, yeah. If you want to go ahead and trash Mark Holmes, go to Michael Anthony's page.
I already got almost 30 subscribers because of that video.
Okay, see? No, it's all good. So, troll alert. If you want to go into that whole thing and go ahead and trash me, go to Michael Anthony, who definitely said I was downstairs crying. But you know what? I should actually have my grown-ass man shirt on, but I don't want to mess it up because I'm a grown-ass man. It's amazing that somebody can go ahead and tweet out and say that Earl Thomas is siding with the Browns. I tell everybody that's some bullshit. Yeah, and of course, nobody says anything about that. What's that?
I think we did these wrong.
What?
Because these went all the way through.
Oh, we gotta. Oh, that's right. We didn't adjust them. Drill 3 new ones because those are gonna go through Chibi's. Yeah, and you make sure when you screw it together that it's different. So put like a little pencil mark on it. Okay, little slight adjustment, but it's okay. Nobody's perfect. And it's not that I was wrong because the Cowboys wanted him, but I said, you don't want that guy for too much money. But because here's the thing, I want you guys to think back. Let's look back at past years, okay? Past years, what we had to do because we were so over the salary cap, because we overpaid with the Marcus Ware, Miles Austin, the Jay Ratcliffes, the Marion Barbers. Because we had overpaid so many of those guys, what ended up happening is we had to gut the team just to get down to zero. We had to restructure Tony Romo. We had to restructure Tyron Smith. We had to keep taking all this money just to go ahead and try and hold on. And we would lose players. And the problem is, we would go through. Actually, you can tell which ones they are because they're not as deep. So you don't need to mark them. We would end up going through and having to get rid of, a guy here, a guy there, guys that played important roles on the team. And had we signed Earl Thomas for that much money, which to me was way too much. I said before, last year, I said don't spend more than a third-round pick. And if you guys want to say I'm just a clickbaiter and everything else,
give number 2, but they didn't want that either.
Right. Well, but see, I wouldn't have given up a number 2. To me, that was still too much.
But they didn't want it. So
they didn't. Right. They didn't want it. So I wanted it. I wanted him and all that. It just didn't work out. The numbers didn't work out. I wish him the best of luck in Baltimore. Okay. And I'm not mad at him for going for the money. Eric Berry, I would bring in and take a look at him because here's the thing. If you can get Eric Berry and Eric Berry's heel is healed, that's the key on it here. Is that heel healed? And I would have the same doctor that you had for Jalen Smith look at him because Jalen, that doctor looked at Jalen Smith and he was the only doctor out there that said he'll be able to play again when everybody else's doctor said, nah, that's too much of a risk.
They did that on purpose.
What's that?
Because they didn't say anything about him.
I know. No, well,
that was a tactic for us to get him.
Right, but the Cowboys looked and said that this guy, that dog will be able to hunt. It won't be the first year, but he'll be able to hunt. Well, Sue, I'm hearing, is looking at New Orleans right now.
Oh, yeah, he's going to go visit New Orleans.
He's going to visit New Orleans. So, well, I tell you what, with his big behind, when he gets down there and the food alone will win him over there. Because I got to be honest, every time I go to New Orleans, man, I gain 5 pounds. And I ain't mad about it because that's some good food. But let's start looking at where we are right now. And everybody kind of pissed me off because so many fans out there, they're like Slut Rock. Woe is me, why Cowboys, we suck. Think about where we were this time last year. Let me cut this one. making the shelves for that corner cabinet. But think about where we were this time last year. Okay, we had come off of a disappointing season. Because and we looked at our offense. Our offense was butt ugly. Our offense was terrible. Dak Prescott looked like some shit. We couldn't do anything, and even when Zeke came back, we still did not get it together.
That was our fault for not having someone to pick up the slack when
Big Elliott was right. And herein lies the problem. Because we still were paying on Tony Romo's contract and all this other dead money, we didn't have backups. Remember so when Tyron Smith got hurt, what?
Remember when Dak Prescott messed his hand up? That's what changed that season.
Yeah, that's true. Because, again, it goes back to what I was just saying. Tyron Smith goes out and you put Chaz Green in, and your quarterback gets beat to crap, and then you lose Zeke Elliott. So this time last year,
we had that
Isaiah Cromwell got released from the Jets. Now, see, that's where this is what's interesting because, see, now the big money's gone. And now teams that have gotten and spent big money are now releasing guys. Huss, Eric Berry. Now is where you can start getting some value. And that's where the Patriots start jumping in and grabbing guys and say, hey, look, buddy, we'll give you a 1 year or 2 year deal to come here.
Yes.
And we don't have that Super Bowl thing right now. But that's where they get value. New England hasn't signed anybody yet. Anybody. And I guarantee they'll be a Super Bowl favorite next year. Let me say this real quick. Corner shell. Okay, so we come off a subpar season on the offense. The offense was butt ugly. We had Jason Witten retire, so you had that hole. We got rid of Dez Bryant, and they went through and they said that the Dallas Cowboys receiving corps is the worst in the NFL. You guys remember that? The worst in the NFL. Remember we had Terrence Williams, we had Cole Beasley, we had a bunch of guys for tight end. Okay, we signed Alan Hearns, who was coming off a down year and an injury and things like that. Eric Berry, they're going to eat a whole chunk of change on that. True. Yes, true. And that's the problem with a lot of these big contracts and these free agents and things, that teams are eating a lot of dead money because of it. Right, and that's the thing about Eric Berry. You got to get your doctors in there and see, is this guy going to be able to play again? What you got? Oh, that's breaking news. What, today? I would say do it today because I would rather go ahead and try and get these cabinets put together and get all that stuff varnished real well. Then tomorrow we take a load over there because we can start cutting and doing all the doors. I'm sorry. Okay, so Eric Berry, when healthy, now remember he had, he beat cancer, but he's had this ankle heel injury that has kept him from being able to play for the last 3 years, which is why evidently the Chiefs don't put a lot of stock in thinking he's going to be there. It was better for them to say, okay, we'll bite the bullet and have that $16 million hit on the cap, and we'll pay Tyrann Mathieu. So they've got a lot of money tied up in safety, so they don't think that dog can hunt anymore. We don't know. I don't know what kind of contract he's looking for. But having come off of that other one, he's already been paid. It may be one of those deals where he's looking for a proven one. For me, Mike Clark, I agree. Defensive line is where I'd like to go. So here's the thing that you look at. Now, Ndamukong Suh is going to New Orleans for a visit right now. Justin Houston is out there, and there's a couple of other guys. If you can get 2 of those guys and have some change left over as opposed to 13.7 for Earl Thomas, then we're actually in better shape. Defensive line is the biggest bang for the buck. And I I would do that all day long. I mean, all day. All day.
The guy in the suit, like, you can't be acting a fool.
Who that?
The guy in the suit, because he can't act a fool.
He didn't act a fool with the Rams.
Well, you know, the only reason we actually beat the what's the name?
Can you
The catch no catch season when we beat Denver was Detroit was because the guy in the suit stepping on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's true. True.
So they gave us that.
Okay, so here's the thing. My point being is right now, we lost Cole Beasley. That hurt. But I look but hold just can I do my hypothesis?
Because we got what's his name? Cooper.
Well, can I finish my statement? Okay. So last year they did articles about the Cowboys being the worst wide receiving core in the NFL, and Dak Prescott being one of the worst quarterbacks, right? All right. Dak finished up on a high note. You look at the numbers, he had 3,800 yards after the first 8 games being crap. Okay? Now, compare that group where we were last year. We got Michael Gallup, who most of his receiving yards actually came in the second half of the season. Okay? Just follow me and tell Cooper, right, we were the worst. So I'm saying, when we started this time last year, we were the worst receiving core in the NFL, right? We lose Cole Beasley right now. We got everybody in the world because we didn't get Earl Thomas saying it's doom and gloom. And I'm saying, look at where we are right now with our receiving core. And each day we'll focus on a different section and see, are we better or worse? But Michael Gallup, 33 catches last year, 507 yards, 15.4 yards in average. Not bad. That means that dog can definitely go deep. Okay? Amari Cooper. We lost Dez. I'll take Amari Cooper over Dez any day. Amari Cooper, 53 in his 9 games with us. 9 games with us, 53 catches, 725 yards, 13.7. Had he played at that level for the Cowboys the whole season, that's 1,260 yards with 92 receptions. That's been pretty damn good. Allen Hurns didn't play that much, but he did. Here's the thing. He had 20 receptions, almost 300 yards, 14.8 yards per reception. So you put that. Austin is a free agent. They haven't re-signed or anything else. There hasn't been any talk about that. I don't think they will.
It's that groin injury they're worried about.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to re-sign Austin. Austin was... Any thoughts? No, don't. Dez ain't coming back.
Dez has a 1-year contract with the Saints.
No, forget. Listen. Can you guys at least listen to me here? Now let's add to it Jason Witten. Now we had 65 receptions last year from tight end, although most of that seemed like it was the Giants game. 3 of the touchdowns of the 5 that we got of the 4 we got from tight ends were in the Giant game, okay? Josh Swam had, Blake Jarwin had 1 great game at tight end. You add Jason Witten to that mix with 63 receptions his last year, almost 600 yards. I don't think Miles Austin coming back. What the hell are you talking about? You mean Tavon Austin?
They're talking about Miles Austin. He works at a university now.
Like, he was a coach. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it. So my thing is this. From where we were with a wide receiver core last year, with as it stands right now, if Allen Hurns comes back healthy, you've got a much better group. You've got Michael Gallup, who has some experience. You'll have Amari Cooper, who will be in the system for a whole year. You got Allen Hurns, who doesn't have to be the guy, because originally he was signed to be the guy, but he's not the guy. He's a better number 2 or number 3. And then you get Jason Witten, who is always open. It's a joke, Mark. Oh, okay. So to me, we're in better shape right now with our wide receiver core. Now, if you guys don't think we're right, then let me know. And here's the other thing that's also going to happen. There's still a lot of wide receivers that are out there, and there will be more in that second wave of free agency after the draft, as well as you got the draft, as well as that third wave of free agency, which is after training camp. So you can look at it and say, we can stand pat with what we have right now. There may be somebody else who can come along that you turn around and say, okay, we'll get that guy, and maybe you let Holmes go. So from that standpoint, we're in better shape. I got to do some work here because this is my day job too. So, if Jarwin and Witten implement with, here's what I look at. All right. This to me is what I dream of. If you end up, okay, hypothetically, I just want you to imagine this is a play. You've got two tight end set. Jason Witten on one side, Blake Jarwin on the other side, right? You got Zeke Elliott in the backfield. Looks like a run formation, right? You got Amari Cooper on one side. You got Michael Gallup on the other. Okay? What does it look like?
Oh, he changed his beard.
Oh, yeah, he dyed his mustache back.
Good.
Okay, so what does that look like to you guys? Looks like a running play, right? Right? Here's what you can do with it, though. It's not necessarily a running formation. Because what you can do, this is where you can play action people to death. Okay? Because you can run to either side with that because you got a two tight end set. It's balanced. You've got two wideouts, right? So you can run and just have Zeke doing a dive. And you do that stuff, right? Or it can be a pass play. You play action. Dak takes the ball, fakes it to Zeke, pulls it back in, does the bootleg, and here's what you do.
Des Bryant's on the market.
Of course he's on the market, but he's got a ruptured Achilles. He's healing. And you end up having Michael Gallup go route. You have Amari Cooper go route. And you have the tight ends do crossing routes. And then you have Zeke go out in the flat. That right there. Don't hurt yourself spinning around. Oh, don't worry. I got my knee brace on. Okay, it's holding it together. That right there ends up changing the dynamics. Because what would happen with us when we put Rico in, pretty much, we weren't passing the ball. He was running, okay? This gives you the option because you know Jason Witten can catch the ball. You know that Blake Jarwin now can catch the ball. you know that Amari Cooper can go to the house. So here's the thing. If the team, defensive coordinator is out there right now, and you see that formation, and sometimes you do pass out of that, how do you stop it? Because here's the thing. This is where the quarterback ends up reading the play. If the safety is in the box, if you've got 8 men in the box, you got go routes. It's a pass. You're changing that play. Amari, you got one-on-one coverage. Gallup, you got one-on-one coverage. That play action will suck and hold up the linebackers that are holding the safety. You got one-on-one. I'll take one-on-one with those two guys on the outside all day. All day. And that's where you look for an advantage. And if the safety's not in it, you run. Because you've got your 5 offensive linemen and 2 tackles that are there to pave the way. And if you do it kind of like what we used to do with Tony Dorsett, because Tony Dorsett, as Tom Landry would say, would get pissed off because this was the hole over here. And Tony Dorsett would bend it back and go with the hole over here on the other side. And of course, Tom Landry was always, no, but the hole's here. But he's like, the daylight's over there, coach. I can get there. And he'd take it to the house. So then, that's when Tom Landry looked and said, you know what? He's a different kind of running back. What you guys need to do is hold up your block. He's going to find the hole. And that's what we need to have with our coaching staff. Realize what you've got to work with. And then you use the hell out of it. Being innovative. And I'm hoping and praying that's what the hell we start doing. Because I think we got a lot of talent. A lot of talent that we have not been using. Lucky Whitehead. Lucky wasn't too lucky.
Now you talking about Marquez White? That's a different cat altogether.
This is here we're gonna put. This is the.
That guy can play.
All right, so we're gonna start putting this one together. This is a biggie. You need to clamp stuff. This is our oven cabinet that we're going to put in there. No, I put them back underneath there. To get them extra money. That's what I put them back Got all kinds of little tools and toys here.
That guy's going to be in for that. That guy's going to be in for that.
Who's that?
Kyle Murray.
So that's what we have to look at now. I have to move some Wi-Fi in the shop. It's not working good. It should be. Well, it's right there. How do we use Sean Lee this season? Okay, wait, let me see if I can do this.
As a backup?
Hold on, let me check something here. Let me know if that does better. Well, and again, that's where you got to look at your doctor and have them really evaluate and see if that's worth getting it. So I don't have that answer. He only played 3 games over the last 2 seasons, so I don't know if it's healed or not. But you could look at Adrian Phillips. No, you can look at Earl Thomas too and say, well, he's been injured the last 2 years, actually the last 3 years. So can you trust that one as well? But every player is a gamble. Maria Doley, 86. Can I give you Cornbread? Cornbread? That was I remember a great movie, Cornbread, Earl and Me, way back in the day. I'm that old. Trey Boston is out there. Yeah. You love what I do. It's hilarious. I appreciate it. Well, and if you want to joke on me, just go to Michael Anthony Fitness's channel because, well,
I just say it's crime. That's all I say.
Houston is not off the board yet. My own son trolling me.
Hey, but hey, it's getting the followers, getting the people to
Throwing me under the bus. That's sad.
You want to use the other ones first?
These are actually stronger because of the coarseness. They'll bite better. The other ones are better with using on the maple on the wood. This is better on the plywood.
Can't forget you. He's gonna be a buzz.
Could be.
No, I think he will be.
Could be like your boy Christian Hackenberg.
He ain't my boy.
That's what's funny.
He ain't my boy.
Remember guys like Christian Hackenberg? They were talking about that he.
Ass.
Well, no, but I think he was like the third-rated quarterback, and he can't play in the AAF.
Mattenberg is better.
Hackenberg is.
Mattenberg.
Okay.
We lost last week because they were dumb enough to pass the ball. And all you had to do is run the ball and let the clock run there. That's how stupid the coaching staff says. You could have won the game, but no, you didn't.
All right. You're gonna learn today. This is we got a double oven that is in the kitchen. So big shout out to your son. He's like a younger version of you. Keep mean mugging up. Okay. Kate Capture. Yeah, there are a bunch of receivers that are out there. And see, here's the thing. The Cowboys are looking at it from the standpoint of we don't want to spend too much on one guy. We'd rather spend it around, spread the wealth around a bit and get more guys. Depth was key for our team winning this year. If we had not had Van Der Esch to take over for Sean Lee, that defense would have sucked. Let's be honest with you. And I'll give you another example because I was talking about the wide receiver core is better. Remember going into 2017 when we drafted Taco? Everybody talked about the Dallas Cowboys. They have no pass rush. You know, who are you going to, there's nobody there, right? So we drafted Taco. And they made fun of our defensive pass rush. And then you had DeMarcus Lawrence step up. You had Tyron Crawford, who got his shoulder worked on, who played well. You had Antoine Woods. So it went in like people said, this is a weakness. They got nobody to rush a passer. And it turns out we end up having one of the better pass rushing teams in the NFL. So don't always go on this, well, we didn't sign a big name guy, because these guys understand too, for me to get paid, I got to play my ass off. And sometimes all they need, thoughts on, somebody said thoughts on picking up Johnny Manziel.
That guy is trying to go to the XFL or the AAF. Hey, but I might see him on Saturday in 2 weeks. If I decide to go on Saturday.
To what?
He's going to be here for the autograph signing.
Oh. This is my thoughts on Johnny Manziel.
I just want to go see how people are actually going to go there and see him. When did you realize? But you know, it's funny though, on his card, he said nothing about the Browns, nothing about the CFL, it's just about college.
Since I was a kid.
That's my thoughts on it. And you better not be paying any money for Johnny Manziel.
I'm not paying for none of them.
I'm curious to see how many people.
That's the only reason I'm going. It's $10 to get. It's $10 to go on Saturday. So you don't have to get the autograph. You can just stand there and just watch. I'm not paying for nothing.
I mean, you might want to show up there with a bottle of liquor and see what happens. That was wrong. I take that back. That was wrong with me.
He has issues, but most of his issues are because.
Do I think of Tyler Effort? It's possible. Cowboys Crunk, what's happening? Don't mad, you going to see Manziel? No, I'm not going to see Manziel. In fact, I won't be there Saturday. I'm coming back Sunday.
I'm just going just to go.
A bottle of vodka.
Not to get an autograph.
But see, that's the difference. And that's what I'm going to say. That's the difference of having Stephen Jones versus Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was ready to draft Johnny Manziel. Can you imagine if we had drafted Johnny Manziel?
He was ready to get Earl Thomas, too.
Okay.
He was ready to get Earl Thomas.
Well, you mean the trade?
No, I'm talking about because he said I want Earl Thomas.
Oh, you're right.
If it
But-
was up to him, he would already got Earl Thomas.
Oh, Cowboys Crunk. Actually, Cowboys Crunk did. Yeah, I forgot about that Cowboys Crunk. Shout out to you. The leg did. It wasn't really like major contact where that leg broke, and it may be that. Hey, maybe you're right that it is damaged goods and he is brittle.
See what you have to do.
Made of glass. I mean, you know how Morris Claiborne was for us.
What you gotta do is when you listen to Jerry Jones, it's the opposite. Because most of the time, it's the opposite of what happens with.
Well, it's because. Well, no. Here's the thing.
Earl
It's
Thomas.
kind of like good cop, bad cop between Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. Jerry is ready to go ahead and say, man, I like that guy, man. You know, just like in a relationship where you have one person who likes to spend a lot of money and they don't think about the consequences. And then you got the wife that says, no, you can't afford that. We're not doing that. Because you look and say, man, let's go get that Corvette. That's just what we need, that Corvette. And she says, honey, groceries ain't fitting in that car. You know we got 2 kids and a dog. It's not practical. It'll cost too much money.
Now we retired, maybe.
Right. So that's the difference between Michael Anthony Fitness wants a pay raise. Okay.
I just want to build a house.
He wants to build a house. That's what we're working
That's
on.
more important than a pay
So
raise.
that's where you are between Jerry and Steven. That's the difference. Stephen Jones is kind of like, Dad, I know what you want, but you're going to get what we need. We're not going to go crazy ape shit on doing stuff that's not going to better the team. And for the most part, you got to look at it and say, from where we were in 2010, coming off of the worst draft that the Dallas Cowboys ever had, 2009, where 3 years out, not a single one of those players we drafted were even in the NFL, to being constantly $25 million over the salary cap in cap hell, having to restructure contracts. We're in this off season right now, and we haven't restructured a single contract, and that's a good thing. Dead money wise, we only have $4 million in dead money. When you look at a team like the Giants that have $33 million in dead money, you look at the Chiefs who like to bury and they take a $16 million hit there. You look at Pittsburgh taking a $21 million hit for AB. Those things aren't happening to the Cowboys. And I know it's not winning Super Bowls just yet, but these are things that are going to help us get to that point.
NFL Fantasy Live. Our guys break down the biggest emergency signing. This guy is a legitimate playmaker and reveal which stars will shine in your new home. NFL Fantasy Live. Free agency fallout. Monday at 8. Only on NFL Network. Path to the draft. Our experts get you ready with in-depth analysis and positional rankings. I think he's ready to go right away.
Your experts like Charlie Casserly that says that we threw the ball too much to Dez last year? You mean those experts? It's hard being a diehard fan. Hey, you know what? Here's what I say to people who have already given up on the season. You need to just give up on football. If you are already done with the season, and just like I said with people early part of the season, I always tell you, don't get too excited or too upset with the first month of the season. Because the true team has yet to emerge.
We need to be connected on a regular basis.
Sometimes I get
Well, you know what? Yeah, a lights out safety does help on the defense. It'll help band direction, all that. But so will a lights out pass rusher. So will a 350-pound beast in the middle will also help that
My
too.
question too is where was Van Der Esch when Sean Lee was out there missing his assignments? When he missed his assignment, he was sitting on the sideline.
Well, that was That was the Cowboys repeating the same mistake they made before.
What they need to do is if you want to use them in
Now,
rotation.
see, that was the Cowboys making that same mistake that they did with
The other side.
hold on. I know we got to flip it over, but I got to put the blue on. With Morris Claiborne. Because that was Morris Claiborne played great beginning of the season until he got hurt. And then he was gone for like 7 weeks, and then we bring him back to play in the playoffs, cold, and he was a shell of what he was at the beginning of the season. So that was the same thing with Sean Lee. Sean Lee, when healthy, is one of the best linebackers in football, but he was rusty and coming back from that injury.
Part of that was Van DeVess's fault too,
How was it his fault?
because he's the one that said Sean Lee needs to start.
Well, okay. The decision was already made. What he said had nothing to do with the final decision. He was being the team player, not saying, "Oh hell no, I should be starting." No,
Yeah,
they were being team players and respecting your elders. Something that I'm beginning to think that you don't do anymore.
So that's kind of what made him, he said after the fight.
I was looking at the fans.
All right. Clinton.
Michael Crabtree, not to mention Golden Tate holding up the back end of that right there. In the meantime, Houston, take a look at him right there because released by the Chiefs on Sunday and is still the top free agent available when it comes to the linebacker position. That's for your friends over at NFL.com. So be sure to jump over there and keep tabs.
Hold up. We them boys. Oh, let's see.
I'm not sure he's gonna land, but the guy can still play. In fact, to me, watching the tape from the games that I watched, he was better than D Ford as an all-around player. He plays the run better than D Ford, and he's got more moves than D Ford. D Ford is a one.
Hold up. We them boys. Well, maybe we'll make some noise this year. Remember, how many times have we seen the Washington Redskins be the offseason champions? Only to see them fall on their ass.
For years, what this guy was an outstanding slot receiver. Pretty good quickness, great run after the catch. You watch him in Philadelphia last year, not quite the speed.
All right, so put together this big ass camera. Lee's going to end his career with a career injury if he's not careful, wishing nothing but help. Hey, you know what? That could be any player, though. Do I ship my merchandise to England? Are you talking about my shirts or are you talking about my cabinet? Actually, there's a couple of shirts that are in England. I think there's one in Germany as well. There, if you actually go to Teespring Cowboy Jobu store, you can actually order it, and it is international. Manuel, hold on, but you know what? We're not the only team. We're not the only team over the last 24 years. I got you. I understand that. Mike Fisher says Oglog is a no-go. Okay. And there you go. 100%. Does Michael Anthony still get paid even though you guys are on a job site or what?
I get paid.
He gets paid whether we're working here on the shop in the field. It's the same thing. Oh, shirts, yeah. Yeah, they'll go international. They will ship international. They do. It's a little bit more. Mike Fisher is a hack. Mike Fisher's okay. Oh, yeah. Cowboys Crump. He's got it. That's right, in Afghanistan, protecting us. Okay. Yeah, Mike. And I tell you what, if you do order something, use Power, capital Power.
You should put that in your description.
Okay, Power 4 for Dak Prescott 4 seasons. And you'll get 20% off on it. That'll help. Maybe that helps cover some of the extra shipping costs to go to England. So if anybody wants to go to, actually, if you go on on this page, on the home screen, it's got there the Teespring store, the link and stuff on there. So, if you go through, 20% off, basically it's the cost of the shirt is what you're paying for in the shipping. I'm not making anything off of it, which is fine. I'm not looking to make off of it. If people want to wear something that I've got, that's great. Man, Elijah, I just haven't time to do stuff. Actually, we're gonna do. How was the shrimp bowl last night?
I mean, the shrimp tacos were good.
Oh, he made shrimp taco. I made a shrimp bowl for us. Although you waited so long, they get rubbery. Shrimp you got to eat as soon as they're done.
I was doing the smart thing, clean the kitchen too.
Well, I appreciate that. See, that's where it works good because I make the mess and cook the good food. Somebody else cleans up.
That's why I take.
That's a partnership.
And I took a shower too.
But it's just that this kitchen is a lot of work getting this stuff together. I still have some other cabinets we got to put together. There's actually 4 more of these I got to put in here. The other ones I actually have out on the front porch where we're barnsing and taking them. C.J. Anderson or Duke Johnson, I'd be happy with either of them. But I think Duke Johnson is a better pass catcher. And if I ultimately had to choose, and all things being equal price-wise, I'd take Duke Johnson because I think he's a better receiver. Does Michael Anthony get paid more for working more and talking less? No, he gets paid the same. You got them all on there?
I wish.
Okay. You know what I don't have is the backing pieces. Okay. No, it's cut. I just need to cut them. So that way, go ahead and put that in here so it's squared up and keep it true.
The best thing to do is go to the dump.
We're gonna go to the dump here. We're gonna go.
I'm talking about before I get my hair cut.
What time are you leaving?
It's at 4. It's at 1.
It's at 1?
1:45.
What time is it now?
It's almost 11.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, looks like Michael Anthony's telling me he's got to get his hair cut.
I do because we're going to Maryland tomorrow.
Yeah. So let's leave the. Well, no.
I think we need one though.
This is where this is a heavy son of a bitch.
You don't need this.
I tell you what. Unlike the ones you'll buy at Home Depot or other places that are made out of particle board, this is 3/4 inch American made plywood. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna stand it up.
What about the clean?
So you got the bottom.
I know, but say when take.
Okay. Let your side down. Go this way. There you go. Okay. All right. Now let's move it back towards me. We can't put that one on that side because we open the garage door. That's
We can put it over.
to
Can't you put this one closer to
what?
over on this side?
Well, we're gonna put it over here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you move it closer to that side so you can put everything together and get it back.
Okay. Literally, this is gonna take a trip by its damn self.
You got 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah, well, this is the biggest one. This is the oven one. The other one's 24, and the other one is only 10.
So you can get some tracks.
So, do I watch boxing? I haven't watched boxing in really years. It's kind of, it used to be I loved heavyweight fighting. I grew up with Mike Tyson and all that. With
Boxing has
I
been good since Mike Tyson was.
right. That's what I'm saying. And back with Muhammad Ali, I remember.
Because Floyd Mayweather messed up.
Here's
the
how.
market.
Okay,
He messed up the market.
I'm old, guys. I want you to know that. Okay. I'm so old that I remember when we landed on the moon, watching it live. When you see all those old television clips and things, I lived those. I remember my mother talking about Muhammad Ali was going to get killed by George Foreman because George Foreman was mean. He wasn't like he is now with the George Foreman grill. George Foreman was a giant and he was mean, and they literally thought that George Foreman was going to kill Muhammad Ali. And then you had the fights with Frazier, the Rumble in the Jungle, the Thriller in Manila. I watched those things on TV. We had the big TV at my house, cabinet about this big, screen about this big. All of the rest of it, the casework was all out of wood. So, yeah, I used to love boxing. Boxing was great. And when Mike Tyson first came on the scene, he walked in with that little black wrap and everything else, and just came in there. It was all business, and he just boom, just knocking motherfuckers out. And then Buster Douglas. It was crazy. So boxing is nothing like it used to be.
Well, that's because Floyd Mayweather.
Mark Holmes started a cave remodeling company and now remodels homes. That's how old he. Oh, Cowboys crook. He said I started out a cave remodeling. And now build houses. That's in like I'm a caveman. Ooh, okay. Black shorts, black shorts and black shoes, man. And that was it. He just came in there with, Customato was his trainer and everything else. All business, and he was short, but he intimidated the hell out of people. People just looked at him and was like, "I'm just scared. Can I just get my check?" He could create a Jobu Army shirt. Well, all right, so guys. Appreciate everybody stopping in. I'll be back to do some more work. We're going to go to the dump, get rid of some garbage and things, and Mike's going to get his hair cut. I'm going to be back working on some more cabinets. And you don't have to pay them to watch them either. How much are the shirts? The shirts are like $21 or so, but if you use that capitalized POWER, you'll get 20% off. So that's like $17, $16 for the shirts. So it's not too bad. There's a couple different styles. There's the grown ass man, there's the Power of Four, and there's the Jobu one. So there's sweatshirts and there's stuff that's on there. My name is also Michael Anthony. Haha. Okay. Is that Mike Birch? As in Mike Birch that I went to high school with? Mike, is that you? Mike, is that you? That's right, Power 4. Oh, okay. I was going to say, because there's a Mike Birch who I went to high school with who follows along. And I was like, Mike, why aren't you at work right now? How about a Michael Anthony shirt, Mark? How much are your shirts? Do you have shirts?
Like $25.
Okay. Tell them what your link is. They're asking what your link is for your store.
Let's go to my page. One of my videos. It's all of my videos. If you go to the description box of my last video.
Okay, so for Michael Anthony's store, link. It's in the description box for his store. So definitely, help support him. And subscribe to his channel.
Oh, and the other thing too is any of you guys that subscribe to my channel, the next live stream, if you want to donate to getting the New York Sinking Giants of Browns jersey, y'all more than welcome to donate.
You saw my man, the Stinking Giants fan, throw all his gear away.
Yeah, because I plan on getting the kid-sized jersey of Odell Beckham. We're gonna make a nice frame for it to give to New York City Giants fan.
I also wanted Demario Davis too. I also wanted Calais Campbell. Those guys could have helped our team as well. I wanted Aaron Donald in the draft. When I get focused on a guy, it's because I believe that guy is a guy that can help us. It doesn't mean I'm right or wrong, but that's just what, from what I see of what the team needs, I look at it and say, that's a guy that I think can help, and I'll give you a reason why I think that guy would be able to help us. So I look at it from the standpoint of we do not get enough takeaways. We do not have ball hawks out there. We do not have somebody that is getting those turnovers because those turnovers are game changers. And I agree. run now. That's why I said you don't give up a number 2 draft pick for him. That's why I said you don't pay him more than $10 million, or you make an incentive-laden contract. You want to pay him $15 million? Yeah, then he's got $7 million of incentives to get there.
I can go to Baltimore.
So I ain't mad that Baltimore paid that much. That's fine. That means they got.
Are you playing Baltimore this year?
No.
I would love to go see a game.
Rico as a backup quarterback.
What? He's probably he's a third string tight end, maybe fourth string.
Rico is a backup
He's a third
quarterback.
string tight end. What are you talking about?
On that note, I'll see you guys